Yeah.
This is the throw.
Yep.
This is the type of throw that everyone, the Zach Wilsons and
Mm-hmm.
Kellen Mond had his last year, and we saw all the guys this
Fields
year.
had one. Fields had one.
Yeah, all of them, man. Like all of them are doing these pro day type of throws, and Anthony Richardson is one of those guys that actually makes it in game.
What's going down, everybody? Welcome back to the station. Welcome back to the channel. This is the Four Downs film session with my man Damian Parson at DP_NFL on Twitter. I'm your man Ray G. You can find me on Twitter at RayGQ. But most importantly, we are here to talk some film, and it's a very exciting player that we're going to dive into today. A player that not only the fantasy football community is super excited for, but I think this upcoming college football season, this young man is really going to have an opportunity to put his name on the map early. Player that we're excited about. We're seeing him in the first round of all of our Draft Network Scouts mock drafts, and my man Damian Parson had this player going number 5 to the New York Giants in his first 2023 mock. We're talking about none other than Florida Gators rising redshirt sophomore quarterback Anthony Richardson. Just quick stats on what he did last season. 38 for 64, 59% completion percentage, 529 yards, 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 51 rush attempts for 401 yards and 3 touchdowns. So as we dive into this player, understand limited film, limited reps, but we're looking at the talent, the skill set, and the upside this young man possesses at 6'3", 6'4", 235 pounds. DP, quick overview of who Anthony Richardson is as a player and what you expect from him this college football season.
Man, you just listed off his height and his weight, and Ray, he runs a 4.5, right? Like this is an unreal specimen at quarterback that gives me the vibes of a Cam Newton, right? What we saw Cam Newton at Auburn, being that big, physical, big arm quarterback that was able to run all over the SEC. He beat Bama single-handedly to lead himself to the Heisman and to the national title. And when you look at Anthony Richardson, when you talk about all these other quarterbacks in this class, to me, he's the one that they should fear, right? Because if this young man puts it together, he's got all the physical tools and traits. He puts it together this season, he's going to basically leapfrog himself into that discussion for QB1.
Well, let's talk about it because there is a lot of discussion, DP. You've got Richardson, there's Will Levis, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. If people are getting real spicy, I've seen a couple of other names up there, but those are primarily the 4 top-rated quarterbacks going into this college football season, which we're all excited about. But
Absolutely.
DP, let's not belabor anymore. Let's get into the film and talk about Anthony Richardson, the player. So we've got the film pulled up, and DP, this looks like the game versus South Florida, so take it away.
Man, on this play, it was amazing just kind of watch this play in real time and see just his improvisational skills to navigate the pocket, get out of the pocket. Now, of course, you never really want to, they always say don't throw across your body and different things of that nature, but you see that once he breaks contained, right? Like he's facing heavy pressure from both sides of the offensive line. South Florida does a good job. They're trying to cage him in and lock him into the pocket, but he's still able to work himself out of it and keep his eyes downfield, right? We see at the top of the screen, number 1, I believe that was Jacob Copeland, who's now at Maryland. He's breaking away, going to the corner of the end zone towards the pylon. He's keeping his eyes downfield. Anthony Richardson is. And you see him. He has 3 defenders, 1 behind him, 2 in front of him, and they're going to close quickly on this young man. But the arm talent, right? He's able to get his shoulders square, doesn't have a great base underneath him, but he throws an absolute dime downfield and puts it right where the illustration, where it's labeled, right in the hands of his receiver, who makes a great play. And as everyone's, Ray, and we know about it, right? The draft season when we get to all the workouts, the pre-draft stuff. This is the throw. This is the type of throw that everyone, the Zach Wilsons and Kellen Mond had his last year, and we saw all the guys this year.
Fields had one.
Yeah, all of them, man. Like all of them are doing these pro day type of throws, and Anthony Richardson is one of those guys that actually makes it in game. With the bullets right bearing down on him, with all the heat coming on him, he makes that exact throw in game, Ray.
You know what's impressive about this too, DP, is he sees his receiver breaking open here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why he's able to see it is because despite the pressure, he's focused on, like, he's looking to throw the ball, man, because it would have been real easy for him. You know, if we run this play, he could have just took off and ran, right? He could have just said, screw this, I'm out of here. But look at him, even with the defenders bearing down on him, again, is this the most technically sound throw in the world? No. Like you said, the base isn't under him. He's rolling out to the left. But the talent, DP, for him to be able to make this throw in the way that you illustrated it here, and this is just, I get it. It's one throw, but damn, it really does show you the type of talent that this young man possesses. Now, we've got another play here. You've got this versus Florida State. So Florida versus Florida State at home. Let's watch what Richardson does and walk us through this play, DP.
Yeah, so he's going to go to number 4 here. I believe that's Justin Shorter. And I highlighted these 3 guys here because you have the flat, the route in the flat. It's going to occupy the eyes of these 2 defenders, right? And you see the cone highlighting Shorter on the corner route, on the 7. And he's going to run to the corner of the end zone. Got a clean pocket for Richardson. Now, it's not going to stay clean, right? And this is where the toughness in the pocket comes in at, because there's going to be pressure right in his grill coming from the right side of the defensive, right side of the offense. And they're going to come and bear down. He's going to get hit when he makes this throw. But it's a beautiful ball in the corner of the end zone. Shows the touch and the timing. Puts it over the top of that defender. Because the defender, even though he was still keyed in on the flat route, he was able to make his way back towards the corner to still get into the passing window and the passing lane. But just the accuracy, the ball placement, the touch rate, just flat-footed, just standing there. Torques gets good hip rotation and really layers this ball over the top. That's what we talk about, guys. A lot of times, Ray, when you see guys with big arms, they can throw the rockets, but we always compare it to like a pitcher, right? You got your fastball, but do you have a slider? Do you have a curve? Do you have that changeup, right? With a quarterback, you want to be able to not just throw that rocket, but can you layer it? Can you put that feathery touch over the top and drop it into the bucket? And that is what happens on this throw here.
There it is. That's the quote. Can you put that feathery touch on it? And he does that right here, because you're right. This is a tough throw. I mean, this is a tough throw, right? Because that defender did drift. I mean, he's right there. And look at that. Look at that. Right over the top of that defensive back. Touchdown catch. Nice play by Anthony Richardson.
And you're going to see from the end, number 4 here for Florida State at the end of the line, he works inside, gets into the B gap, and he's got a clean shot at Richardson. But he never, and what I love is that his mechanics stayed the same. Even shoulders. He doesn't overstride. He rotates through the hips and throws an absolute dime.
Let's watch that. Let's just watch this go through. That's a throw. Is that DP? I know it's not a 50-yard bomb. It's not a Josh Allen 90-yard rocket launcher. But is this an NFL throw right here in the money 100%. In the money zone? You got to convert. And a lot of times people don't understand, the closer you get to the end zone, the more condensed everything is. It's even harder. There's less space to operate. Is this an NFL throw?
No, 100%, right. This is one of those throws where, like I said, you got the defender over really underneath, over the outstretched hand, just like put it on the money. But it shows that accuracy and that ball placement in those condensed spaces, man. Like that, this right here is a perfect still frame rate of this throw. This is perfect. You got a DB, and DBs, as you being the former DB, I don't think people give DBs the credit for being the athletes that they are to get vertical at this level, at that height, and not touch the football. And not get a hand on it, right? His outstretched hand is just like, and Schultz just waiting for it, that teardrop to drop into his hands. Man, this is an NFL throw, because at the end of the day, accuracy is so important, period, for quarterbacks. But when you get into the red zone, the money area, where everything's tight quarters, you got to be able to put it on the money, and he does a great job here.
All right, what do we have right here? Walk us through this. We got a little LSU. Working through his progressions.
Ray, this is another dime. Just
okay. All right, walk us through it, DP. Walk us through it. What do we got?
Clean drop here. You got the vertical. You got the DB playing off, and you got a clean pocket, right? So he and you see him. He looks to his left, and this is where you see the NFL progress going through his reads, right? So then you're gonna see him work back. Boom, gets his feet set, resets his feet one more time, and then clean mechanics. beautiful throw, and he just lays it out there for Copeland. Copeland's got to step on this guy, right? This is where we see, and we've seen it with some of the quarterbacks in the preseason, right? Like we see the guys who don't have the necessary arm talent to really push the ball downfield. And we've seen some of those passes are underthrown. The receivers have to make plays on it and come back to the ball. You might get a DPI, what have you. But Anthony Richardson has a cannon. And that's what I love about him is that he can – not only is he able to throw this ball down the field, but it's still enough touch where it drops right in that bucket, right? It drops right to his receiver. And then shout out to the receiver for looking it in, but late hands. Don't give the DB any type of awareness or recognition. Like, hey, I'm going to go up for the ball here. Let's wait for the ball to get close. But and then at the same time, it's not a rainbow. You know, we see some quarterbacks it's like a full blown rainbow, right? Like the rain just stopped running. Yep. It's high arcing. This is on more of a line. Yeah, and it's more of a line with touch. And touch and placement, man. So this to me, I remember when I watched this play for the first time, I got up my seat a little bit, Ray. I was like, okay. I was like, that's what I want to see.
That's what you want to
see. I want to see those things here, man. And this was a play, Ray, where I feel like we talk about what he can improve on, right? And this is a play you're going to see this end breaker, right? This is what looks to me is like cover zero. You got a lot of man coverage. You got the receiver at the top on the left side of the screen is double teamed, which he could have thrown it there if he wanted to, but he wasn't looking in that direction. But that backside dig is coming open, right? And he's looking at the right side. He sees the right side receivers doubled as well, and then he makes a play with his legs. Now, Ray, I'm going to tell you, he gets the first down. Don't get me wrong. This is a positive play. But remember Mike Vrabel criticized Malik Willis in week 1 of the preseason, throw the ball, get the ball in your hand, hit the receiver. This is a play where I would have loved to see Anthony Richardson because for me, I live in the Carolinas. I saw Cam Newton make these type of plays, but I saw what it did to his body. And I don't want to see Will Levis and Anthony Richardson putting their bodies on the line when they don't have to. Extend your career, be the Tom Brady's of the mobile quarterback where you're playing into 38 at a high level rather than your body breaking down on you. But like I said, you see that this end breaker's coming. He's going to come back, and when you see from the end zone angle, he will see this. He will be in the purview of this route. It's going to be in his vision, but like I said, he just wasn't in the way of throwing. He felt the pressure. You saw him navigate the pocket, move up, which is good. You don't want him to be stagnant and static and sit back there and take a sack. So you got the play action, and you moves up. I would just want to like him get that ball out of your hands and not have to worry about taking those hits. Again,
should the ball be coming out? Should the ball be coming out right about now? I mean, I see that guy flashing at the top. I see him flashing. The ball should be out, right?
Yeah. So when he comes off of that read and he makes that kind of step up in right here. When he starts to tilt, move his head back to the left as he's scanning the field, I want this ball to come out right here. Like DP, I would like for it to come out.
That's what happens when you don't get reps in the game. That's what happens when you're in and out and you don't know when your last snap is going to be. You're just trying to, and I think that's one of the things Richardson can improve on is, and I think he will. Like he doesn't have to play that hero ball style of game this year as the unquestioned starter, but that definitely is an area of an improvement that he can clean up. Now, DP, I dropped this play here for fun because it just shows just the level of athlete that he is. I saw somebody on Twitter say that, and while we agree that Will Levis is an athletic quarterback, I saw somebody say he's more athletic than Anthony Richardson. And I just want to roll this clip right here, DP. This is versus FAU, and just watch what he does.
Oh, yes. I remember this play.
The strength, jumping over people. I mean, this is just nuts, right? And a lot of what we saw from Richardson last year was him utilizing his legs. But right here, that's one. Right here. Two. Three. Right? Four,
5.
And then he picks up 5, picks up the first down. This is the level of athleticism that you get with this kid. And when the X's and O's break down, can he make a play? I mean, this defender, I don't even know where he came from.
I love this angle, right? Remember maybe a couple years ago, Ravens versus Bills early in the season, Lamar Jackson put that edge defender on skates.
Yep.
You have a clean, unblocked free runner, and look what he does to the guy. This is bro, he's grasping for air, just grasping for straws, grasping for cloth. He's trying to grab onto something, and then boom. Now,
Look
of
at
course,
that.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna critique him, bro. Hold the ball.
Hold the
Keep
ball.
the ball tucked.
Right.
Keep
Right.
it tucked. But I love the moves. Right. This is 6'4", 240.
Wow.
6'4", 240. Right. And Ray, there's a run. I showed the clip of him making the first throw against UCF. He had a 60-yard run.
Yep.
For a touchdown in that game, and I think he messed his hamstring up in that game on that run. Like,
he
finished
did.
the run holding his hamstring, and, and it just shows the athleticism because he's physical. He's got the agility to make moves laterally and cut and jump cut and juke guys out of their shoes and put you on skates. And then he's got a deadly straight arm. I'm talking, this is a quarterback that can legitimately palm you to the ground. Like, I've seen him throw some guys down.
Yeah,
and
he's strong.
I've chatted with him, privately. This is a humble young man, and he's a driven young man. And I'm so excited for him this season, Ray, because you watch him in practice, like the guys gravitate to him. He's a leader. You can tell that there's such a love and camaraderie for him, and adoration for this young man. And he has all the talent. With him, I love Bryce Young. I love C.J. Stroud, right? These are two. To me, you look at these guys, they're more polished than Will Levis and Anthony Richardson right now, especially from a pure passing standpoint with accuracy and ball placement. But those are the two quarterbacks that if they put it together, where it's like, okay, you got people going to compare, shout out to my guy Joe Marino and Kyle Krabs, they compare Will Levis to Josh Allen.
Right.
And I've already compared Anthony Richardson to Cam Newton.
Yep.
So then you look at the situation as a GM, it's like, well, if I got a potential Josh Allen and Cam Newton that have just put it together in their finals in the 2022
season,
talk to him. How am I going to make the distinction and go to my GM and say, I want Bryce Young or I want C.J. Stroud, but they don't have the ceiling that these guys have, right?
All right.
So it's going to these conversations.
I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot right now, DP. We go through this college season. Bryce Young does his thing. He's going to do his thing, right? C.J. Stroud, Ohio State's just going to score hella points this year. They're going to do their thing. If Anthony Richardson goes out there and does what we think, because I'm with you. I know I don't like throwing. This is not a comparison. We're too early in the process to make one for one. This is who he is. The play style, the body size, the talent reminds me of Cam Newton as well. Mm-hmm. If you're a GM and you're sitting there in the NFL draft and you have your choice between deadly accurate Bryce Young, but maybe a little limited because of the size, right? He's probably not going to give you what Levis or Richardson in particular can give you from a rushing standpoint. But if Anthony Richardson makes those steps this year and he tests like the freak athlete, and you're sitting on the clock, is there a chance that you would take Anthony Richardson over C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young in the NFL draft if you were running a team?
100%, right? Yes, I'm doing it. It's just a simple fact of the matter that you look at it. We all know what it is in the NFL, right? It's a copycat league, right? We no matter what happens, Bill Belichick, he's a zig while everyone else zags, right? He said, I'm not going to the high, uber mobile big
right.
I'm going to Mac Jones because I want him to run my offense, and that worked for him, and I think it can continue to work as they build around this young man. But everybody else is still looking for the Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Aaron Rodgers, all these quarterbacks. They're still looking for these toolsy guys. And at the end of the day, this is where we are in the league. And you think about what Anthony Richardson and even Will Levis will bring to a rushing offense. When you run the RPOs, you run the read options, when you run the QB powers and QB veers, we see what Lamar Jackson's been able to do, what Kyler Murray's able to do. You got guys that when things are not perfect, to quote my guy, our guy, Keith Sanchez, who's both of our podcast partner, these guys can make things that are wrong with the offensive play call, they can make them right. So it's like when you have a guy like that, you bet on that. And it's like that's my thing. It's like I'm looking forward to seeing what him and Will Levis especially Anthony Richardson. He goes out there, Ray, and he puts it together and makes the strides we believe he can make. Oh yeah. He's in that conversation for QB1. And if I'm on the clock, I'm just saying, if I'm a Detroit Lions and somehow he's still on the board, and I got Amari St. Brown and DeAndre Swift and Jamison Williams healthy and TJ Hawkinson and DJ Chark, I'm probably going to resign for another year or two. I got this and the offensive line that we have and the budding defense. I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers and say, I got somebody for you. I'm looking at Justin Fields. I have someone for you. Kirk Cousins, I'm sorry. You've done some things. You got Justin Jefferson, but I got a guy now that I can trust at quarterback that's going to make us extremely competitive. And I'm trying to take this. I'm not playing nice no more if I'm a Detroit Lions. It's good seeing all the stuff on Hard Knocks. Let's go get me a dog, right? Let's go get that dog at quarterback, baby.
Let's go.
In this case, let's go get the Florida Gators.
Let's go, DP. You got me hyped, man. This was a good one. I hope you all appreciated it and understand. We're going to see him tested early. They've got Utah first game, and then they got Will Levis. Utah next week, and then we got Will Levis versus Anthony Richardson.
Ray, could that Kentucky-Florida matchup be the battle for QB1?
You damn right it could be. I've been saying it. And what I hope we see is both of those guys go out there and ball out, right? Because that could set the trajectory for their draft stock. I mean, you talk about, I get it. There's the Alabamas and the Texases. There's the Ohio States, Michigans. But when you're talking about trying to figure out who the next dynamic quarterback in the NFL could be, I'm telling you right now, I loved me some Malik Willis. I kind of like some Matt Corral. These two, Levis and especially Anthony Richardson, that talent in those bodies, man, those dudes are the battle for QB1 could be September 10th down in the swamp in Florida. So listen, everybody that's tapped in, hit that thumbs up button, comment, let DP and I know who you want us to take a look at next week, because we will be back with more Four Downs films from TDN. For my man Dame at DP_NFL on Twitter, for Ray G for the Draft Network, for Anthony Richardson, man, we out of this thing, baby. Peace.